Hey guys, it's Mac and Zach again, and we have our lovely guest, Dottie Vox. Dottie is a professional game master, but has been playing since '04, and is a professional actress, a production artist, and has the...
I'm counting for you.
Oh, okay. I was like, what am I doing?
A long list.
Yes. Well, you accomplished, but my favorite about it is not only do you try to make gaming an open environment for anyone to feel invited to play, to enjoy in such a really great social experiment, but you also want to pet every single dog on the planet, which I can totally get behind. I'm all about it. This is where I should have a picture of Frankie. Like
I was about to say, Frankie's gonna and
she's like, "What dogs you petting, Dad? What dogs are you petting?" I was like, "I'm sorry, baby.
They always know. They always know."
Dottie, thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Hello.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So how are things with you?
Oh, pretty good. All things considered.
Quarantine, this pesky virus thing, world
just
going
global
crazy.
honestly,
pandemic.
we're all chilling and vibing at home.
The best part about doing these interviews is the audience cannot see that I'm wearing pajama pants and nothing else.
That's a lie. He's wearing no pants.
Well, everyone knows that's a lie because that's cold.
At this point of quarantine, I feel like pants are optional at all times.
I did a video for Go For Games last night. I wasn't wearing pants.
I don't know why. Why do I dig a little bit and you give me way more than I'm ready for? Yep. So Dottie, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the gaming hobby?
Oh, for sure. So I've actually been tangentially gaming since I was about 4 years old. My dad, I come from nerd stock. My dad is a huge gamer. My mom's a big literature nerd. And when I was 4 years old, we used to break out the copy of Hero Quest, the board game. Awesome. Yeah, OG Hero Quest.
Right?
We broke that out after dinner every night, and my parents and my brother and we would play through Hero Quest with my dad kind of GMing it's kind of for people that aren't familiar with Hero Quest, it's kind of a hybrid of a board game and like a D&D tabletop RPG kind of thing. And I got really excited about that because I got to pretend to be somebody else. I was always obsessed with pretend and dress up and all this stuff. And so I always had kind of like nerdy interests. And then my first actual gaming group came about shortly before I graduated high school. So in 2004. And yeah, we started playing in 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm actually still part of that same gaming group.
Wow. 15-year gaming group.
I started gaming with them, and then when Pathfinder came out, we decided we wanted to start playing Pathfinder because they were going to be continuing to have the like pre-written adventure paths, which is what our GM likes to run. So we were some of the like earlier play testers for some of the Pathfinder stuff, and we got really into that, and we played a lot of Pathfinder. And through that, I started running games at conventions like Gen Con and running for Pathfinder Society. Pathfinder Society also, then I also got involved in doing events with Wizards of the Coast and doing a little teaching for D&D there. That's kind of how I got that's kind of the arc of where all that came from. And then this year, with everything going online, the progression of, hey, I occasionally teach people games at conventions to I am a sort of on-call professional dungeon master. Right. This year just kind of escalated from, at the beginning when quarantine was starting, I put together a Discord server for just, like some buddies of mine to be like, hey, let's put this up and we can just, people can run one shots. And it's very much in the vein of like when you used to go to the game store and put your index card up on the bulletin board being like, I'm looking for 3 players for World of Darkness, email me at my Yahoo email address. Like, so it was started in that vein, and it really snowballed, being in quarantine and me having severe extrovert problems, in addition to the ADHD. That's
no, that actually
just a big snowball.
No, like yeah, you actually segued already into kind of something we wanted to talk about next, was the fact that you put together this really awesome D&D 101, 5th edition 101 curriculum for new players to be able to use to kind of, you know, not have to just fend for themselves, like, now I'm doing this D&D thing and I don't know what's going on.
D&D can be really,
it can be very,
like, even 5th edition being something that's way more approachable, in my opinion, just for younger people or people who've just never been exposed to it, it can still be quite a lot.
No, it can definitely be intimidating. So could you tell our viewers a little bit about your curriculum, and you know what it took to put something like that together?
Yeah, sure. So the curriculum kind of has it kind of has 3 parts to it. I explain the basic mechanics of 5th edition, so you know how combat works, how skill checks work, you know how to build a character, and I don't go super duper into detail, like down into the tiny nitty gritty stuff, but I give everyone enough information that they could make a character and play in a game. And then the best way that you learn is through doing. So the second half of the class, I honestly don't know what to call it yet. But the second half is actually playing through a mini adventure that I wrote with pre-generated characters, that showcases the 3 aspects of Dungeons and Dragons. So skills, social / role playing, and combat. So it has like kind of a little miniature section for each of those. You know, you've got your campfire scene where everybody talks about their characters, and it introduces the players to the concept of like speaking as your character, and, you know, a little bit of the improv that you do at the D&D table. And then, you know, there's a little mini dungeon with some puzzles and some combat and some traps and, you know, fun stuff like that to just kind of showcase the different things that D&D can do in a very concise, like easy to digest kind of way. And then the third part that I talk about is the sort of meta aspects of playing D&D. So things like how to find other players, and how to be a sort of good citizen of the gaming community, and, you know, talking about being communicative with your players as a GM, being communicative with your GM as a player, you know, because I want the next generation of gaming to be more inclusive and more welcoming than it has been in the past. You know, because I remember, you know, over a decade ago, almost, and I remember being the only female GM in the room at a con, you know, and it's way different now, and the community is so much more diverse and things like that. So I want to just make sure that it's, you know, it's welcoming, and that people understand that, like, hey, communication and good communication makes your game better. It makes it more fun for everyone. You know, and then I also do a lot of stuff with, so like I have ADHD. I'm a neurodiverse gamer. You know, like we just talk about little tools and tips and things that are helpful, like index cards, like asking for accommodations at the table and how to approach that and things like that. Again, all with this ultimate goal of just being as inclusive as possible at the table. And, you know, I just want everybody to have a good time, man. Like that's what I'm here for.
No, that's really fantastic. Like, yet another segue. You do some work professionally with Kat Blackard on their audio drama production. And we had her on a couple episodes back, and we had the most fantastic interview with her. He explained a lot of the things she did and how she started and things like that. What I would like to know, especially for a neurodiverse gamer as yourself, and also working on a professional audio drama production like that, what does it take to kind of get ready for that type of gameplay? Because that is very different from like
for sure
regular gameplay.
Yeah. So previously with Omniverse, I had been kind of on the B team of Dungeons and Doritos, which is the podcast, Lefty Lucy was on for a while. And that's how I kind of met everybody there. We all kind of came up with our sort of hook to the story as a group. And, just to make sure that and especially because we were doing it as like a 2-night event live stream, and then it's being edited into a podcast. So for the live stream, we wanted to make sure that you didn't get stuck in that kind of initial quagmire that a lot of games can get, where it's like, okay, we've got these characters, they don't know each other, can they trust each other, like kind of stuff. So we really wanted to give our players sort of connections to each other, connections to the setting, and things like that. So we established all of that stuff beforehand, which was super helpful. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there were plenty of twists and turns and surprises. It was not by any stretch of the imagination all planned out. But what was prepped ahead of time was the jumping off point to give everybody kind of a firm foundation. And then, it's Cthulhu. So it quickly devolved, especially for, like a 2-night stream. And for me personally, for my the things I need to do to be a successful player in a game, like with ADHD, is like, I have 2 monitors. I had 4 different windows pulled up on my other monitor. And it's like, okay, my character sheet is in this one. References to the 1920s are in this one, and that's one of my things when I talk to other neurodiverse gamers and storytellers and dungeon masters and things like that, is whatever works for you, right? Because we're all different. It's a huge spectrum. Different things are going to work for different people. My short-term memory sucks. It's part of having ADHD. And so having those references is great. I'm a huge fan of index cards. I literally have index cards taped up to my bookcase right next to my desk, and just keeping everything sort of in visual for me. But yeah, just doing that kind of prep stuff that I've trial and error discovered what works for me and things like that. So, but awesome. Oh my gosh, that podcast is so much fun. I loved it. So
it is. I was such a big fan. So Dottie, do you have any other personal projects that you're working on or anything that we can let our audience know about?
Yeah, sure. So of course I have a couple of, again, ADHD. I've got just a handful of projects scattered across the internet. So the best way to keep track of all the insanity that I am taking part in is just to follow me on Twitter at Dottie Vox. On Tuesdays, I'm doing, Toolbox Tuesdays and, trying to get conversations with other, I want to start these conversations with other neurodiverse gamers, and I want to talk about these are tips and tricks that work for me, what works for you, and kind of compiling that into a Twitter thread on Tuesdays. On Wednesday nights, I stream on Twitch, and I do cosplay makeup and chat and nerd chat, and it's fun. It's just a couple hours, and we just talk about the nerdy news of the week. It's 50% talk show, 50% hanging out with your friend while they put on weird makeup. I'm also in the process, like I said, of polishing and publishing the 5e 101 outline curriculum, whatever you want to call it. And that's going to be freely available to anybody that wants it. I dabble in cartography, and I make battle maps and things like that. But yeah, but most of this information gets compiled on my Twitter. That I'm trying to be keep everything available here. And then all of the resources, the adventures and maps and things like that, are all going to be going up on my Ko-fi page for a pay what you can kind of situation. Just, because I want everybody to be able to have fun with it. I also, if you're interested in booking me as a GM, I am available through the Start Playing Games website, and you can You can check out all my GM credentials there.
No, honestly, through the pandemic, you're right. It has blown up. We also have a Discord server where games for it, things like that, and it's just been super popular. Because people want to be safe, but still have some form of entertainment.
Absolutely.
Also, on top of that, with when we reopened we reopened virtually and then we reopened the store after lockdown, there was an extreme uptick in role-playing games.
Oh yeah.
And supplies and I'm telling you, everyone who walked through the door, yeah, I did this when I was a kid, and I'm just getting back into it. It's like you and the rest of the city, buddy.
Yeah. Well, it's
weird about it. Like everyone is doing this right now. Have you found that in your experience as well?
Oh, absolutely. It is wild, like how popular tabletop role-playing games have become, and I am super excited about that. I'm super thrilled about it, that like more people are discovering how awesome these games are and how much fun it is, and I'm here for it. And I love like you go on TikTok and there's like a whole like D&D section of TikTok, and there's all these great live play podcasts and Twitch streams.
That's just great. And like I said, we both of us, from Zach and myself, we just want to say thank you for someone like yourself being such a great open ambassador to the game and to the hobby in general, because that's what we need. We need more people to enjoy cool stuff like this. And
that's it. We just like cool stuff, man.
It is.
Right?
It's freaking dope, man.
Make cool stuff, tell great stories, pet every dog. Done. Sold.
That's the motto. There you go. That's the motto. You have a slogan now.
Yeah.
Dottie, thank you so much. It's really just a great pleasure to have you on the show.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
With the utmost sports, I've been Christmas shopping.
Okay.
Going hard, and I got to figure out what to get this guy. I need an autograph from Cat Blackard.
Yeah, we can make this happen. Absolutely. I think she would be thrilled. Yes.
Since the episode we had Cat on, every episode she is mentioned.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I have stand Cat a little bit too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, it's okay. I mean,
I love it. I love it. I'm here for it.
There's nothing wrong with
yes. Yes.
But Dottie, thank you so much. And I hope sincerely that we'll be able to get you back with us sometime in the future, because I would love to hear about what's going on with your cartography, your 5th curriculum, and of course, how many dogs you petted since we've talked.
Absolutely. I not anywhere near enough will be the answer, but
Dottie, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate it. Absolutely.